So, a very common strategy of dealing with estates is what do we do with real estates? What do we do with houses, rentals, vacant property, farmland, or anything like that? And a very typical strategy of kind of doing it yourself is to just transfer real estate to your kids or to your beneficiaries and just sort of say, well, if they already have it, then they already have it. Then if I pass away, there's no probate, there's no issue. And that would be true. That's 100% accurate, but it's totally missing a lot of the unintended consequences of transferring something to your kids during your lifetime or to your beneficiaries. The first is that you totally lose control of what can happen to that property for better or for worse. And so if your beneficiaries have an unfortunate incident, they run somebody over a crosswalk, they get divorced, they pass away, then your property is subject to their planning or their protection, their insurance. And you probably don't want that. The second is that you lose control from what can be done to that property. So if you need to remodel or renovate or improve the property, you have to get them involved to consent to that type of work to be done. The third, and probably the most consequential from a dollars to dollars perspective, is taxes. The first is taxes to you. When you transfer real estate to any third party, if it's somebody other than your spouse, you have to file what's called a 709 return, which is the federal gift tax return. And it's because you're transferring a large sum of value to a third party. The second is that they will be tax disadvantaged when they go to sell it themselves. When you transfer real estate to a third party through gift, they get what's called your cost basis or a carryover basis in that property. So if they go to sell it, they're going to pay the same types of capital gains that you would have if you sold it, as opposed to that property passing on through inheritance to these same beneficiaries. They could stand to sell that property without paying any taxes to the federal government for capital gains. It's called the step up in cost basis. And we totally sacrifice and eliminate that advantage if we give the property instead of leaving it. And so often the better strategy is planning, right? It's creating a strategy that transfers wealth very intentionally with all of the upside contemplated and all of the downside eliminated. Often that's a trust of some form, whether it's revocable or irrevocable.